Planning your Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch. How about we make rock, not war? Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the heavy metal happy hour with the one and only Fishman.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Get out.
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic. You know what all the cool kids are doing these days? Listening to podcasts. And what does Toxic Radio have? Podcasts, duh.
Just as I thought.
Go to toxicradio.net and check out our weekly schedule for the lineup of great shows. Miss any of them live? No worries.
Thank God, dude.
We're on all the top podcast platforms, or just find them at toxicradio.net or on the free app. The choice is yours. Be cool or not.
We're gonna be cool.
Toxic Radio. Get the podcasts and get infected. All sports talk shows are the same, right?
I am bothered by everything.
You gotta go back to football school.
You call on this guy, it's just immeasurable.
Wrong. In a world filled with talking heads more interested in their own celebrity than actually knowing the sports world, it's hard to find the people who really care about sports first. Look no further. Wire to Wire has it all covered. These guys have the knowledge and the cred to back up their opinions. No hot takes to get attention, just straight up opinions. Know anyone else who correctly called the 2020 World Series and March Madness? How about 70% on the NFL and NCAA football last year? You don't. Bottom line, these guys know their shit. They aren't doing it for attention, they're doing it for passion. Wire to Wire, live every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, only on Toxic Radio and wherever you find podcasts.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's time to take it deep. We got a lot to talk about. Hopefully we make you laugh. Thank you for coming back this week and spitting in Time's face and listening to Take It Deep. I also have a guest here with me today. That would be Mean Gene.
What's happening, fellas? I'm happy to be here, hanging out with the one and only, the Godfrey.
Oh, Brad, already with the fire. This last 2 weeks, the show has turned into Deviant Gamer. That show doesn't even exist anymore. That shit got canceled.
I wouldn't say it got canceled.
Oh,
it's on the back burner right now.
Well, let me ask you a question. When's the next episode, Mike?
The next episode of Reboot Reality will be tomorrow night, starting at 8
I believe
p.m.
I asked about Deviant Gamer, not Reboot Reality.
Next episode of Reboot Reality will be tomorrow night. Everybody tune in.
So, and apparently we're talking about hot tea. You'll get some entertainment, Brad. Don't worry. We're going to talk about something that I suspect might be in your closet, and it'll be male Spankx. And we're going to talk about male birth control, and, you know, in a fun way.
Fun with birth control.
Fun with birth control. I mean, listen, some of the ladies out there don't like to take birth control for good reasons. I'm not here to debate that. We're not going to be getting into some weird fucking contraception, abortion debate here. No. But, I mean...
I thought that's what we're doing.
No, fuck that. But we're going to, I mean, I don't know. We'll just jump into it right now. I mean, birth control for a male, like, sign me up, man. If I can have to, if I know I'm not going to forget that goddamn pill. That's what I know.
Birth control for a man is a condom.
No, it's not. I'm glad you asked that, Mike.
So, all right, Mike, hold on. I need to comment on this because I disagree with you completely.
Well, how?
So if you could take a pill, right,
yeah,
and didn't have to wear a condom, you wouldn't enjoy sex a lot more?
So, let's back off.
Skin on skin is much more enjoyable.
Is the condom, I think, is the guy's responsibility to put it on. I do agree with you.
Okay.
If given the opportunity, if I'm going to CVS and I see Rid for Her Pleasure where it says, fuck it, take a pill, I'm going to take the pill.
That's what we're talking about then.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to let you know that science is making great advancements. Male birth control pill, 99% effective on mice, looks set for human trials. This is via Vice.com. So this isn't just a joke. This is some for real shit. And I used to date a girl that said, I don't like to take birth control because it makes me bloated. I said, fair enough. So I had to rock the condom. I wasn't going bareback Jones because I didn't want any little Godfreys.
We all thank you.
Yeah. Well, listen, we weren't saved from the world of little Mikes, so that's going to happen. And you're having a girl too, right?
Uh-huh.
God's getting revenge on your ass.
Female version. What do you mean getting revenge?
Well, you know,
I'll whoop some asshole's ass.
Yeah, every woman that you may not have treated properly, it's going to come back around.
Every woman who has crossed my path has been treated exactly how they should have been treated.
Mike,
Unverifiable statements there. Unverifiable statements.
I have a foolproof plan to know whether someone's first baby is a boy or a girl, and it's based off the male. And I'm almost 100% accurate with it.
Oh, well, Toxic Mike was female all the way, right?
So I don't know him that well, so it would be tough. I'd have to ask him some questions.
All right.
But
Why
like
don't you
now, I
ask
know
him
he's
right
a
now?
female.
Do you have these questions on hand?
Oh, I do.
Shoot him at him right now. Let's see how accurate it
So,
is.
Mike, how often did you cheat on previous girlfriends?
How often did I cheat?
Like, did you do it more than once, twice,
Yes,
3 times?
More than 3 times.
Okay. Have you ever dogged a woman out?
What does dog a woman out mean?
So, like, essentially, like, treated her like shit, like, stayed with her and just basically strung her along, lied to her.
I've never treated a woman like shit.
Okay.
I have strung a girl along.
So here's how it works. Ready? Then this is the foolproof plan, and I challenge anyone to say I'm wrong. If you're a good guy and like the woman is more of the aggressor in the relationship, like she noticeably wears the pants, and you do not treat women bad, you get a boy. It's almost guaranteed. Now, if the male is the macho type, or he dogs women out, or essentially cheats on them, or have done things in the past to women, you get a female. And because it's God's little way of teaching you how to treat women, and it works. I'm telling you, if you check this out, I've almost been 100% right.
I don't think that's a little way to do it. By the way, just because you said it's God's little way. I'm not 1%. I got Jamie back here saying he's the 1%er.
1%.
Okay, well,
you might be right. I mean, it might be a statistics thing, but I wouldn't say. See, so I'm not a religious man, so I would say the universe's way, but it might be the universe's way of kind of. The universe, your energy that you put out, per se, might be the energy that also causes your sperm to be more female than male in some cases.
I'm going to call time out for a second. Brad goes, Mike treats all women well except waitresses. Facts, Brad.
Well, because tipping.
See, that's why you got a girl.
Because tipping is bullshit, and
Facts, Brad.
You can't prove me any different
at
all.
That's why you got a girl. Is the waitresses thing. I just realized that.
Yeah,
but
but it's waiters too. I don't discriminate.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be sexist there.
Yeah. Well, listen. I hope that party was worth it. Because when a guy pulls up to the car in a car in 20 years trying to pick your daughter up and you hear this on full blast, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Oh, dude, I've thought about that. I think that every man who becomes a girl dad has that thought to himself.
He's gonna suck you in too. He's gonna be drinking like a Fuego, a cup of that fucking shitty soda, and listening to ICP and shit. He's gonna be like, I'm a juggalo, and you're gonna be like, wow, I like this kid. I really like this kid.
He's got a Hatchet Man tattoo. He's throwing Fago everywhere. Going back to your original topic of birth control, there was a couple years ago that I saw that there was some device that they had approved. I don't know if they approved it, but they were installing it. A little switch in your balls that actually enabled you. Yeah, it enabled you to switch the vein or whatever. I don't know what it is.
What is this? Universal Soldier?
Whatever turns it on to put the sperm in there, and you could turn it off and on. If you were able to get a surgery done where you could turn it off and on so that you could still have kids, but only when you desired to, would you do that?
I'd rather take the pills.
What in the S&M is he talking about?
I wish
he's got a little switch around his balls.
It sounds like an alien picks you up and probes your asshole.
Look, if Elon Musk can put friggin' computer chips in your brain and all this other shit, they can put a switch in your balls.
Well, listen. So this is what it said. Scientists have developed a male contraceptive that doesn't target testosterone, because that was probably a problem before, avoiding unwanted side effects like weight gain and depression. Well, what if that person already has that? So I guess it equals out. But
Fuck.
I'm just saying.
It's terrible.
Thank you, Alex. Alex said he heard about the switch.
Nice. Birth control options for men may soon expand beyond condoms and vasectomy, as scientists in the U.S. have developed male contraceptive pill that has so far proven safe and effective on mice and looks set for clinical trials in humans early this year. Researchers from the University of Minnesota presented their findings at the American Chemical Society Spring 2022 conference in San Diego. So they've been working on it, and I wonder how much that pill costs. I got to tell you, though, if it was $1,000, I'd probably still buy it because that's a hell of an investment. If you think about it, you're going to get no bigger return on your money than not having a kid. That's all.
Yeah, but it's it might be $1,000 per time you have to like re-up your bottle.
We'll figure it out. Insurance will pay for it. We'll get it. If they're paying for fucking Viagra, I want them to cover this. I don't want to hear any bullshit. My dick can't get hard anymore. That's covered. Here you go. Have a nice day. All right, cool. Right. So they're paying for that. I mean, they advertise dick pills everywhere now. I feel like it's 1990 all over the place. Remember, like, you're a kid remember when Jimmy Johnson, you might remember this, was selling dick pills late night on TV, Gene? You remember that?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, it was so ironic because his name was Johnson, and he was selling a pill called Extends, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Extends, I remember that one. Yeah. They say that
and
was
he's
pretty
on
good.
there, he's like, and this guy's doing football, and he's like, yeah, man, if you really want to take it to the next level in the bedroom, I'm like, what the fuck? Then they had a picture, then another commercial with Joe Theismann, where it was about ED, and he's like, get back in the game, and he's throwing a football through, like, a fucking tire. Like, you never seen that commercial? I
have.
I'm like, really? I'm like, wow, that's not subtle at all. Okay, cool. I mean, so.
I'll throw my endorsement behind the Rhino pills that you can pick up at your corner store. Just going to say that.
So you're medicating with gas station prescription.
Gas station boner pills. I would have never thought it, but if you go get Rhino, man, does that stuff work.
I'm so glad I shared this on my Facebook. I'm sorry, Mom.
Did you not know what this show was?
Of course I
know Rhino. I know what Rhino pills are, but I can't. So you actually took them?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Now, did you have an energy drink? Were you doing all kinds of stupid shit too? Like,
I mean, anytime I took them, I was drinking alcohol. I wouldn't know. I don't remember if I was drinking energy drinks, but alcohol was always involved for the most part whenever I took them. I was over at a buddy's house, and he had like an extra pill, and it was this giant horse pill. And he just kind of gave it to me, and he was like, here, man, you're going to thank me. And there was one night where I used it, and I went, holy shit.
I thanked him.
Wow.
Lars in the comments, she said gas station pills are really bad for your heart. There's a million.
She says he's not allowed to take them now.
There's a million things really bad for your heart. I'm drinking one right now.
There's a million and one. At least the one that's at the gas station. At least you have some fun with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking anything that's called a Rhino pill and it's sitting next to Bic lighters. I just and I don't know, fucking candy and shit and like lighters like at the front of a 7-Eleven. Like,
Starburst, lighters, dick pills.
Oh, I love the placement of it too. Like, hey, they place it at the counter. Hey, what do you think about a dick pill with your milk? Yeah, no, okay. I mean, I guess they're thinking the descent. Where your mind goes when you go up to the register is like, the best time to sell a dick pill is when they're purchasing milk.
It's an impulse buy.
It's an impulse buy, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
impulse buy.
I would think you put it right next to the condoms.
Nah.
No?
Nah. Because if you're going to buy some condoms, you're not even worrying about your boner. If you're going raw dog, you want that to be as big as possible.
Well, listen, guys, if they have a birth control pill, it doesn't mean you can go raw dog and everything, too. There are a thing called STDs. I just want to let you know.
Oh, the way you're talking about it, though. Remember, we just said, who wants to wear a condom when you got the boner pill?
Anybody gone through, like, just scroll through TikTok Live, and I swear to God, I've seen 2 or 3 times where I see a headline, living with herpes and loving it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like,
what kind of TikTok?
I swear
what is
to
on
God.
your timeline, dude? I've never seen one.
Like,
you do realize that TikTok has an algorithm that shows you what you want to see or what you're interested in. I've never seen
you think
it.
Your algorithm's 100% correct?
No,
I
just
think,
like Lars is like half naked dudes dancing in front of a mirror. Just like mine is all nerdy shit, video game stuff and VR stuff. Yours is what again?
I have VR stuff. I have a lot
Oh,
of
God.
politics.
Go back
pop
to
up
the
that
other
I
thing
don't
you
want.
just said.
And herpes.
No, the guy said living life comfortably with herpes. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know why. And he's on TikTok live doing this. He's saying,
I really do love when people discuss what is on their For You page for TikTok.
not know-
I swear that TikTok
when
has
you
one
go-
of the
no,
best
when you go-
algorithms.
no, they don't. When you go through the live, it's whoever's live. It's not, like I'm talking about the live. When you scroll to the right and it says live in upper left hand corner, it's whoever's live that you're scrolling through.
But there's
So
still,
my life is a bunch of women that are cleaning in like spandex, like
Okay.
cam girls.
So you got my dirty maid pretty
Exactly.
much on yours. There's Bang Bros have a website for that.
Laura writes, "Hey, and farm animals, babe. That doesn't help out your cause when you're watching half naked dudes and farm animals."
Wow, there's a lot. I guess her For
Well,
You page
some-
is bestiality. That's your woman, Mike.
Some people could say
I love her. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Some people could say half naked dudes are farm animals.
Wow.
Put a pair of chaps on them.
Yeah. All right. Any girl that says they want something that big has never had a big one in their life. Probably. That's it's like, how do you handle that thing? You got to get a crane? I don't know. You're gonna need like that crane that they get like stuffed animals out with in the arcade. I just don't see. I don't know. I've had girls tell me they're like, yeah, I don't want that. So anyway, we might have a Batman review coming up later on. I'm negotiating that as we speak, so I might be ready on the video. But
Better be spoiler free.
spoiler free. Like, are you ever gonna see it?
Are you kidding me? Yes.
When's the last movie you've seen?
The last movie that I saw, there was a bunch of good ones. In theaters or like at home?
In theaters.
In theaters. The last one I saw in theaters. Jesus Christ, I can't remember. Why can't I remember? I just saw it. It was so recent. I can't remember.
So I think that the spoiler alerts are like, if a movie has been out for a month, you can spoil it. You can
think
just
so?
say whatever you want.
A month is your
A month.
time
That's
limit?
the time limit. I don't know what the Batman's probably about 3 weeks though.
The last one I saw was Spider-Man No Way Home, by the way.
Great movie.
But the Batman is, so a month. That is a good, I agree with that. Once it's been out for a month, because if you really wanted to see it,
You'd see it.
you would have seen it by a month.
Like, am I not allowed a spoiler to Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
Like, I don't
I
want
think it
a
was
spoiler
about
alert, you know?
I think it was about a month before Spider-Man No Way Home started just saying, okay, because the whole thing was don't spoil it. And eventually the studio had to be like, okay, this is what's going on, because they had to promote it properly and have the proper people out there promoting it. So I think a month is fair.
Yeah, that's about fair. We'll see. We'll see. We might have Alex call and do a movie review. But another question, since we're on, males and reproductive rights, I was thinking, I saw a video pop up. If you want to cue that up for us, and it was kind of weird. I guess Mike says they have a perfect algorithm. I wasn't looking for this shit on Facebook, but I guess their algorithm's not perfect. This poster is based in Canada, apparently. It's called Quarterwear, and I just thought it was interesting because it looks like Spankx for dudes. And, I always thought Spankx were kind of deceiving. It's almost like you're wearing catcher's equipment under your clothes. But, I think, hey, if girls can do it, I guess guys can. I don't know if I would, but it definitely can. It looks like it can do some kind of job.
Jesus
of
Christ.
Maybe fooling some.
Everybody, you're looking live at Godfrey's For You page.
I wish I had a physique like that. No.
Go ahead. Ready? Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. That's man leggings. What the fuck? It's called compression. Would any of you guys wear that? Mike, would you wear that?
Thank you for that.
Would you wear that?
So I'll be very honest. I have worn stuff similar, not those, but
Wow. You've worn a girdle?
Yes, I have.
Wow.
I'll be 100% honest. Yes, I mean, for guys that kind of have issues with their weight, that kind of yo-yo back and forth, there are times where like you yo-yo a little bit one way and you start outgrowing some shirts and you're like, damn it, and you want to keep wearing them, so you'll put on something that kind of sucks
So
it all
your
in.
solution wasn't buy something bigger. Your solution was, let me get some man leggings.
Yeah.
So
they manufacture them, they sell them because guys wear them, and it was a shirt that you put on.
Well,
that
I
kinda
want to read a
sucks it
few of
all
the
in.
comments here. I'm thinking there will be a whole lot of disappointed women when they unwrap the presents lurking underneath the girth camouflage. Or this is an outstanding ad. The next time I'm tempted to skip a workout, I'll just envision 40 pounds of pale, hairy flab being squashed into a spandex. So, I mean, Does it come in pink? Asking for a friend.
Brad Huber, Mike is officially the cuck of the week.
Oh my God. Well, you know what, Brad? We haven't done that for a while, but we'll bring it back. Just for Mike. Wow. I mean, that's crazy.
So I'll have Mike's back here.
Okay.
I have 3, possibly 4, of those black like shirts that are really, really tight that you wear underneath like dress shirts if you gotten too big for the dress shirt.
Yeah.
And I wear those.
That's exactly what I have. It's the black
So
one.
is that like the Under Armour shirt, like kind of?
No, it's like tighter than that. Like they're they're really tight.
Yeah, I would say it's like an Under Armour shirt, but like you really, it sucks in on
Correct.
your gut.
Yeah.
The only practical use I could see for this is if you have a suit and you're just.
That's exactly what I use it for.
If you can't fit the suit anymore, because suits are like, good suits, like, it's good, a lot of money, especially.
That's exactly what I wear.
I used it for my Halloween costume because I was supposed to be Roger Rabbit and didn't want to have a gut in it. And, it was during that time period where you're between, being the weight you want to be and kind of gaining a little bit, you throw it on.
How long have you spent in the between world?
What?
You said it's the time period where you're in between.
I spent a lot of, because you go from, you go from large to extra large or extra large to 2XL, it sucks.
I don't know, man.
It sucks.
What about going out to a club? Because, has anybody ever been with a chick and then you get her naked? You're like, wow, what's that? Oh, those are Spankx. Okay. Whole nother person under here. Let's go. So
if you get somebody home from the club at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I promise you the Spankx don't matter. You're finishing.
Well, I mean,
I'm like Mortal Kombat. I'm like Mortal Kombat at 2:30 in the morning. Finish him.
Yeah.
Done.
Unless it's like a wrestling
Finish
match in
her.
itself, getting the Spankx off.
Or him.
I mean,
We don't judge. Well, we don't judge. Godfrey does. He's right now. He's fat shaming.
I'm not fat shaming at all. I'm fat. I mean, I just for me, like, listen, if someone wants to wear that and it makes them more comfortable, go ahead.
Now, I would have a little bit more of a problem if you're wearing something like he was wearing, and you're stuffing it with socks. And
we're
like,
going okay.
Dudes are going out and
Christ.
stuffing them.
This is going on another level now.
So
But that's where I think like
do people do that still?
Then it's like girls going out like patting their bra. Then you get them home and there's nothing there. I would be upset about or shocked or something about a girl that wore something to suck it in, because I understand that. I can relate to that. I get you. But to like pat it to make it like there's something else that is there that isn't there, in that regard is more of an issue.
Godfrey,
Godfrey,
I need to know your answer to this, because he just brought a point up that made me angry. Like, I literally got angry.
What was that?
If you were out with a woman, date, second date, third date, got her home, we're about to, have sex with her in bed, and you found out she padded her bra, and you've seen the padding, how would you react to that? That gets me so angry, because I feel like you're lying to me, and I just hate that.
I would probably power through it, depending on if I wouldn't go away. I mean, we got that far. I mean,
Oh no, we were not ruining the night, but the next morning,
in my head, there'd be a lot of. In my head, I'd be like, oh God, I'd be a little disappointed because but at the same time, you gotta sniff out the padded bra though. I don't know, man. I would be disappointed. I'd be disappointed. I wouldn't make her feel bad. I wouldn't make her, this conversation is making me angry. I wouldn't make her feel bad. I would just power through it. Listen, girls do the same thing. Guys will wear certain things and they'll just be like, okay, I'm going to get over it. I'm not going to get over it. I've heard girls be like, oh, if he's wearing a certain type of shoe, fuck that, I'm out. So, I mean, it happens from both sides of the fence.
Yeah, I don't like when girls or guys insinuate. No, I said that wrong. A part of like breast or something like that, or your ass, which is known for attracting a man, and then you don't have it.
So you're absolutely correct, Mike. So like my comparison to a woman wearing a padded bra or stuffing her bra is a comparison of a guy putting a sock in his underwear to pretend he's got a big dick.
Yeah.
And like that. All right. So like, Laura, you're getting angry at this, right? Okay. And I get it.
Mike's
my question would be,
Mike's gonna go home.
Like, what if you went home with a guy? What if you went home with a guy that has sock in his balls and you found out he's got a little small wiener? Like, how would you be angry then?
Because I think that we all, as a collective society, understand like makeup. That's not how you really look. Like you put makeup on. We know that you're gonna be home without makeup. We know that you got your nails done. Those aren't your real nails. Like there's certain things that girls do to pretty themselves up.
I would
as a society, we understand that's what you're doing.
I would have more of a problem with Spankx than I would have had a bra, because Spankx can just alter your body like.
But not so like. There's only so much that the Spankx can do. There's only so much it's gonna hold in.
I don't know, man. I've seen some fucking.
To tell you the truth,
you can't put Rosie O'Donnell on Spankx and then she's Madonna. That doesn't happen.
Right, 100%.
We're not,
100%. And for me, and this might just be a personal thing for me, like I'll I find attractive women that are skinny. I find attractive women that are big. Like I run the gamut. I'm not one of those guys. It's like, oh no, she's too. Like I run the gamut both sides.
Yeah, there's
so a little bit extra is fine by me.
There's so many factors that go into it, right? I mean, it's not all about weight. I mean, and sometimes there's skinny girls that don't really have big breasts that look great. I mean, it just really depends on the total package.
So, Laura did say she wears things that accentuate her boobs. And I'm not talking about accentuating. When I say padding, like I'm going aggressive with that, like aggressive padding. That is like too much. And I think that's what we're thinking about, like a guy padding his dick. He's going to go with that with the one that's going to make him look
Jamie,
like
cut that audio.
It's going to make him look like LeBron James.
And I agree with you, Mike. And so I just want to respond to what Laura said. If you buy a bombshell bra from Victoria's Secret and it's padded and like you're making your B34s look like a C34, no one's complaining about that. What we're complaining about is if you wearing like padding and a bra to make your A34s look like D34s. If you follow what I'm saying, Laura. That's just like a guy pretending he's got an 8-inch schlong and he comes out, he's 4 inches. Rock hard, like Godfrey.
I'll give a better one that probably, I don't know if that bothers women as much as a guy putting a sock in their pants. I don't know how often that happens, but I got one for you that would definitely piss women off.
Okay.
If a guy wore shoes that altered their height by 2 to 4 inches, and then they became short, they would lose their shit over that. And don't tell me I'm wrong, because you can.
But it doesn't go the other way around, because girls wear high heels all the time. But guys,
but generally, guys are going to be. Generally, a woman wants a guy to be taller than her, or at least eye level. So
that's facts.
I mean, and you see women all the time. You'll see these interviews. They'll do random interviews, and they'll be like, "Can you date a short guy? What if he's like your dream guy?" No, I can't. No, I can't do that. No, I can't. What if he's the best? No, he's short. I can't do it. So this guy was doing an interview, and it was because he had these shoes that raise you about 2 inches, right? And women were like, no. So my thing is if the guy gets home and then he's like this now, and like, hey, what's up? I'm at your waist now. Like, it's not going to be that dramatic, but you know what I mean? So, Mike, you're raising your hand over there. Yes.
I wanted to say just to Brad, this is going to make him so happy. Today's episode of Taking It Deep is now like an episode of Relationships 101.
Yeah.
so Godfrey is running the gamut on all the shows.
But the triple X version.
But the triple X version.
Yeah.
So Alex said a woman will satisfy no matter what she's got. A guy looking like he's 10-incher and not be able to satisfy a woman looking for that. I disagree with you. If you think a woman will satisfy a man no matter what she's got, I completely disagree with you.
Well,
like I completely disagree with you. I've been in plenty of situations in which I'm just like, yeah, this is awful. I need to leave.
But that's not her looks. That's the motion in the ocean, so to speak, right? That's the.
Okay. So what is he talking about?
That's a good question. Alex, explain yourself. But I think that's what he's talking. I mean, listen, there's some people are good in bed, some people aren't. Some people are really hot and they suck in bed. You'd be like, oh wow, like thanks for being a tuna fish tonight.
Thanks for being a tuna fish.
I'm here. Just do something to me. What? No. Okay. That's great.
Next thing you know, on Godfrey's For You page, a bunch of tuna fish.
Yeah, that's they listen. They listen to you, trust me. Autonomy, strictly physical. That's what he's saying. I hate this conversation, period. I know, Laura. Thank you very much. But you're still listening, though.
It's like Howard Stern.
I know. Yes, I've arrived.
This is all he's been waiting for. People to hate him, but still listen.
What's that guy going to say? I'm going to start getting threats and shit. But anyway, we're not. Listen, all of us are not saying we're don't picture us at a club with like top hats and shit. Like, I don't really think that girl's acceptable.
Picture me at a club. I want you to picture me at a club with a top hat, please.
Yeah, well, Mike's would have to look like he's from like the gang of Newsies or something like that because he's not tipping with his top hat.
I'm not. Fuck a tip.
If Mike had a top hat, there'd be like a rip in the top, right? Like that's like Alice in Chains got lost at an ICP concert or something. I could totally see that, Mike.
And fuck the Uber Eats drivers that don't pick up food because somebody didn't tip.
Well, you shouldn't be using Uber Eats in the first place, but that's another thing. I love that, man. I love people get so mad. They're like, "How dare you not deliver my food and not tip?" I'm like, they're 1099 contractors. They don't have to. It's like
you're paying for the service should come whether you tip or not.
Oh boy, we're not gonna get off the rails on Mike and it's fucking pseudo tipping bullshit today. But well, anyway, we got other stuff to go through here, but I think we thoroughly explored that one. But yeah, deception is not cool from both sides. But I'm telling you, girls would be pissed the fuck off if a guy came in like wearing boots, had long jeans, and he dropped like 3 or 4 inches in height. They would feel deceived. It's a little bit different of a thing. Girls are, I would say, I'd be willing to say in the 90 percentile, height matters to them. Like I think it's almost the most important thing. Like I see them uniformly across the board not compromise on height. I really do.
when you ask a woman your ideal man, the first word's always tall.
Yeah.
But I want
You're 5'2" though. What do you mean tall?
I want to comment one thing that Mike said, and we won't go into tipping the whole thing, but
just a tip.
The one thing that really is starting to annoy me with tipping is today I went to Honey Grow, right? You know what Honey Grow is?
Yeah, you
okay. I go there and I order a stir fry and they hand me my stir fry.
Yeah.
And now they changed the setup on the computer screen to tip your guys 15, 20, and you can click a button to tip how much you want to tip the people. I'm paying $17 for a fucking stir fry.
Yeah, I'm not
tipping you. You're just handing me food.
I'm
not waiting on my table. Why would I tip you?
I feel like I might feel generous, and if I'm paying cash, I'll put the tip in the change in the tip jar or some shit like that. But I'm not putting a 20% tip on something that's supposed to be self-serve.
They have that now with the digital ones. A lot of the Square terminals have them, where it comes up, and the person setting it up gets to choose whether tip is there. And I've seen it at like concerts where you're buying like a $50 T-shirt because it's the band T-shirt. You go to pay with a card. They have the Square. They turn around. It's like, do you want to tip? And I'm like, no, I'm spending insane amount of money.
I got another one for you. And I might get some heat for this. I have no problem donating in charitable organizations. I've done it. I'll continue to do it. But I don't need to get hit up at every corner of my life. And when I'm checking out for fucking groceries, oh, can you round up? No, can you round down my fucking bill? And then maybe I'll give $1. Like, fuck you. How about you round down, Acme, or whoever else? Like, can you round up? No, I can't round up.
I want you to say that to the person next time. You round down, and I'll give you the $1.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're asking for charity through your terminal. Maybe you should give the $1 if you round down my bill instead of asking me to round up. Right?
You're 100% right.
Yeah, I mean,
CVS does that shit all the time.
Everybody does.
That's a great take on it. I love that though. Yeah, round
everybody
down,
does.
and then we both put in.
Yeah, everybody does it now. I mean, listen, the place they used to do it the first, and I get it because they're not human and they can't speak for themselves. They'll ask you to donate to a homeless dog shelter at like a pet store. Okay, I usually say no. Sometimes I will. Whatever. But then it's like, there's not a place where you can go almost where you're not almost getting asked to round up. I can't remember a store outside of a clothing store where it's like, hey, would you like to round up?
And they make it so like difficult for you to say no. Like the question shouldn't read, would you like to donate money to these kids? It should read, are you a piece of shit?
Yeah.
Because if you're not a piece of shit, you need to give money to these kids.
Next thing you know, there's going to be a fucking 40-inch HD TV
like
screen.
Literally.
There's going to be a 40-inch
They're looking at you.
HD screen above your when you're checking out to show your choice or not. You know what I mean? You're gonna
Would you like to save children who are hungry?
You got to say no.
No.
What the fuck?
The whole store just turns around and starts booing at you.
I feel like that's what happens, though.
It is.
Everywhere.
Like, I just filled up my gas tank with quarters. Give me a fucking break. I'm just trying to buy a yogurt.
I spent $68 to fill up my car at your gas station.
My ass
now
hurts.
I need to donate $2 to save kids that can't eat.
Yeah.
Or I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
The fuck,
and what's
man?
ironic about that, it's in a fucking grocery store. Why don't you take some of your spoiled food that you don't sell at the end of the day and take it to those hungry kids, goddammit. You know what I mean? Let's go hit up the guy who couldn't even grow a fucking vegetable garden, but we got food sitting in the back we throw out. And that happens too, because I see all these people. I wouldn't do it. I know Mike would, But have you ever seen the dumpster diving videos where people are like, "Oh,
why wouldn't you do it?
this is we're gonna park that for another episode."
Okay,
because I know you'll
better
go,
than
there'll
that?
be a 25-minute change.
Yes, I'm better than dumpster diving. Yes,
I'm not.
I am.
I'm not.
I'll starve.
Laura,
I'll eat good.
Laura, when Mike brings home, he's like, "Honey, I got a fresh Cornish game hen. You better think twice about where that shit came from." That's all I gotta say.
It smelled good. It didn't look green, and we're good.
Laura's gonna be like, "Where did it come from?" Trader Joe's. Where in Trader Joe's? I got it in the clearance section behind the store. That's it.
I could go hardcore on this. I'm gonna let you go with that one though. We'll talk about it another time.
Yeah.
But
we've done that before, but okay.
Yeah, I've got points that make it a valid point.
So speaking, more scientific advances here. I saw this today. I thought it was interesting. New technology allows charging an EV faster than pumping gas. They're saying. So I don't know how quickly it'll get deployed, but when that happens, are you okay?
I'm sorry, my mic is off. I just saw Laura post. He's not feeding our children dumpster food. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
That's right, Laura. You tell them.
Come on, kids. It's time to eat.
Give Laura a round of applause there. She's
So
not
are
having
you
that,
saying
she's
that
not having that shit.
Are you saying that electrical cars can charge now faster than?
Well, this is from Auto Evolution. So they report that when it comes to EV adoption, one of the most important issues people complain about is long charger times, right? They're saying they're on the verge of technology because people want to fill up their tank of gas, and people worry about, do I have access to it when you have to wait a long time? But, those are popping up everywhere. People notice, the charger stations. But it appears that new technology will allow electric vehicles to charge way faster than pumping gas, and that could be true turning point in EV adoption, a true turning point. So the world's going electric, no matter how hard it is for some people to imagine. I agree it is. I think it's going to be a mix. Really, I don't think one's going to dominate, but I think it is because, just like you need to, make the oil, you need to get the fucking lithium batteries. So, it's also another natural resource you're going to have to use to make this happen, right? And so if you go one way to either resource, it's going to make one of them scarce. So you're going to need a mix. But that's a different conversation. But there is this ever-growing demand for energy that cannot be quenched by fossil fuels in the long run, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really talking about that part of the article. And we've come to accept that as a fact. It pays to work toward eliminate the problem. So they're saying that basically, I'm going to break it down for you here. So we can confirm, and this has to do with Tesla, that a fast charging is another area of interest for scientists around the world. One team at the Center for Theoretical Physics of Complex Systems within the Institute of Basic Science in Korea came up with some creative thinking that allows for a huge speed up in charging. The new technology is called quantum charging, which makes sense, quantum physics, and is based, as the name suggests, on quantum physics. It implies charging all cells in a battery simultaneously in a collective manner, not as one bigger cell as it happens today in electric vehicles. That makes sense. So this means theoretically that more cell batteries contain, the more cells a battery contains, the faster it can be charged, as an EV like Tesla Model 3 has thousands of times. This means that the charger process can be done thousands of times faster. It is not just faster charging, but a true quantum leap in fast charging. The implications are far-reaching, and the technology can be used in many fields. So as the article continues, that's pretty awesome. I know China's making a lot of advancement in quantum physics. That's
Can you throw Alex's comment back up there? I want to respond to this. The Samsung Note thingy. He said, I feel like there's bound to be issues with batteries exploding, just like the Samsung Note thing from 2018. I just want to explain this to you, Alex, because I'm in the wireless industry. I've been in there forever. Samsung, this is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen a cell phone company ever do. Do you know why those phones were exploding?
I do not.
So the phones did not have a stopper on the charger.
Really?
So essentially, when they were 100%,
it kept charging.
It kept charging.
Right, which is what would happen. Like sometimes
people would charge their phones overnight, and now these fast chargers were like getting them done in like an hour, and they were sitting on a charger for like 8 hours at a time.
I'll give you a good parallel here. So one thing I used to tell people when I was in the wireless world, and I think this is true, you would usually want an OEM car charger, not one of those cheap aftermarket ones.
Because they're fused ones. They don't have a stop.
and they don't have a stop, and you hear like my car caught on fire because of sometimes because of the goddamn car charger.
Stop using a 99-cent charger for a $1,000 phone.
So I learned about that stopping, and now I always think of that, but I didn't know Samsung would be so careless to do something like that's insanity.
That's exactly what happened. It's absurd. If you read everything about it, why they got sued, why they recalled them, they didn't have a stopper on their battery.
I've never been a fan of Samsung. They make great TVs. But I've never been a fan of their cell phones. I had the first Android when it came out, actually, and it was a beautiful screen. But they've always cooked their benchmarks. I've seen sometimes on the web where it's like they say it's faster than it is, and they always have a lot of great things they could do in it. Just haven't been a fan of their software. But that kind of shit is crazy.
Well, the worst part about Samsung is their when their phone comes out, it's incredible. But their phone has like the worst staying power of all phones. Like in 8 months, that shit's obsolete. It's awful. You just need a new one.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what Samsung does. That's their biggest issue. Like their phone comes out, it's amazing for like 3 months.
Yep.
And that's awful.
Yeah, that's never been a big fan of theirs, but in the phone world, I should say, because they make a lot of other great products. They make a lot of products actually, but not in the phone world. That's funny. Yeah.
I'm getting a Tesla.
Are you? I mean, listen. I think my next vehicle purchase, like I'm almost paid off my my Mustang. It's going to be an electric vehicle.
Has to be.
Yeah, I mean, and
paying $65 for gas. They literally got you by the balls.
And I feel like I'm going to have a gas car, and maybe gas will go down sometimes, and then maybe gas will go up, and I'm like, okay, now it's time to drive electric. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the world we're going to be living in. It's not going to be one or the other. I think you should have, if you're going to have 2 cars, I think you should have one electric, one gas, and that's that. And I'm definitely down with that. I don't know if I'm going to get a Tesla. I might. I think they make a good car, really cool technology. I think I'm waiting for these other manufacturers are going to start coming out with their cars, and I want to see what comes out, and they're going to work the kinks out. And I know there's the ability there. I mean,
Godfrey, the thing about Tesla that my friends sold me on, I'm like, I would never. Why would I pay $80,000 for this vehicle? And they're like, all right, well, think about how much money you put in your car and gas a month.
Sure.
Think about how much money that you pay for oil changes. Think about how much money you put in maintenance in your vehicle. It's like you don't have to do that with a Tesla.
Tom, I actually might consider the electric Mustang SUV, or they actually did an all electric Mustang Cobra, and it blew a Cobra gas engine out the water. I mean, it beat it in a straightaway. I was blown away.
I need that car from The Dilemma.
What's that?
Did you ever see the movie The Dilemma?
I haven't seen it.
With Vince Vaughn and Kevin James.
Oh yeah.
And
so
Kevin James is making.
I've always said that. So some way you got to reproduce the noise in the muscle car. Yeah,
correct.
yeah. They had the Dodge Challenger in there, I believe it was.
That's
yeah,
right.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and
look at you, Godfrey.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing about it. Like with a muscle car, like you still need that guttural sound that it makes. That's the whole point of having it. But
Is it?
I think so.
My two neighbors down the street, they both have electric cars. One of them has a Tesla, and just seeing them come home and pull up, and they get out of their car and just plug it in, just to like they have the plugs at home, like to go home and just plug it in and be full charged in the morning, like that's just so cool to me. Like, boom, you're done.
Dude, when I used to sell cars, I had a guy that bought a Prius plug-in, and he was some rich guy, and he had it shipped to somewhere in Bermuda, and he just drove it around his property like a fucking golf cart and just plugged it in. So, I mean, the Toyota hybrid is great technology. I mean, you get 51 miles to the gallon city right now, and so the hybrid model is really good, but I really think a lot of these manufacturers are going to start catching up, and they have to, because if they don't, in the U.S., China's making a shit ton of electric vehicles. You know, not everybody's going to be able to afford a Tesla, right? And I agree with you. The math of the situation is you're paying less gas, so it should even out. And I will tell you, certain years, like I know when I was selling cars in New Jersey, like if you bought a Tesla, you didn't have to pay any sales tax because it was all electric in New Jersey. I think that was like at least 2 years ago. Might still be going on. So you're paying no sales tax. I was selling a used one at the time, potential on $40,000, which is a big savings, like $6,000.
100% buying a Tesla, because you can literally fully customize the vehicle to be anything you want. They build it for you, like 100%. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I might end up doing that too. I'm still a couple years away from there, but there's pickup trucks coming out. Like Chevy's putting out. I mean, I'm not a Chevy fan, but they're putting out a really nice Silverado electric truck. So
can I say something controversial?
What's that?
There's been 2 people that have commented on Priuses on there. I'm sorry, as a grown man, as a 36-year-old grown man, I can't drive a fucking Prius.
I'll drive it.
I can't. I could just clip my balls at that point.
I'll drive it and get roadhead while doing it.
What? Why? What?
I would drive it. It's a car.
What's his name?
Well, no, doesn't matter. Head's head, but it doesn't mean what's his name. I'm saying, listen, I'll put it to you this way. So some people, I used to have certain cars. Like I never had a Prius because they're fucking hard to get.
Okay, that's why.
But no, I'm serious. That's why. Like they're hard to get. I'm telling you. Like even a used one, especially now when gas goes up, they're so hard to get. I know because I sold them. But the whole reason why I'm saying that is, you know, I used to have like a Scion TC, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's a girl's car." I'm like, "I like my 250 payment. Go fuck yourself."
I feel like if they just changed the name from Prius, I would be all right.
Is it the name of it?
Have you ever seen the movie Just Friends?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan Reynolds' movie. It's hilarious, but the guy that's that's trying to date Jamie Palomino, I forget his name, Rusty, whatever it is. So he comes up, he goes, "This little princess, I call the Prius." Like, and it's just ever since I've seen that movie, I just thought anybody that drives a Prius.
That's because they
pussy.
attached it to the villain in the movie for you to like. It's gonna like fuck Rusty. Every time you see a Prius, you're like fuck Rusty.
That's exactly what I think.
So now I'm envisioning that you're gonna go into a parking lot one night and you're gonna meet a guy driving a Prius and he's gonna have a name tag on it that says Rusty. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck? That's what's gonna happen. But I mean, listen, I like it because it doesn't look great, but it lasts a long time. I've seen it. I know what they hold in traded value because I've been in that world, and you can't beat 51 city miles per gallon. That's just fucking unbeatable. It's worth it for the shitty look that it has. Like, you know, if I was an Uber driver, I'd be rocking nothing less than a Prius because of where gas is too. But it's a cost thing. But I get it's kind of fucking ugly looking, but it's got a cult following. But listen. Nobody's weirder than Subaru people, so that's it. So that's a whole nother story. I could do a show on, you know, which types of car people are weird, like Saab people, weirdest motherfuckers you ever meet. They don't make them anymore. You know what a Saab is?
I know what a Saab is.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. So
don't talk to me like I'm stupid.
Well,
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with you? Respect that man.
Did you know what a Saab is?
Son of a bitch.
No, he has no idea. They haven't been made for a while. That's why I was asking.
I'm not a car guy. I don't like sports. Have you not learned any of this stuff?
All right, Mike doesn't know what a Saab is, so
I'm a Saab.
Laura wears the pants in that relationship.
Big time. Big time.
By the way, pregnant Laura is a lot more feisty.
You have no idea.
Wow.
I find
you have no idea.
I find it entertaining.
Mike's getting in trouble tonight.
You have no idea.
I'm a Laura Rose fan. She might not know this. But I'm a fan.
I am too, but
Mike is in trouble.
But
you're in,
those pregnant hormones and yeah,
they're hilarious. I just can't live with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, that's why I don't have kids.
That's the reason.
Yeah, it's part of it. That's why I'm into this male birth control. I'm gonna.
That
invest.
was like the Zach Galifianakis. Yeah. That's why I've remained single this time.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why you're single.
Yeah. What's this show? Ferns.
Between two ferns.
Between two ferns.
Ferns.
Yeah, I'm getting popcorn. Chat is about to get wild. Yeah, Laura's running in place like the Tasmanian devil right now.
Jesus Christ.
She's fucking pissed. I could see her. I could just picture it.
Nah, she's happy.
Mike,
I'll be sleeping at the studio tonight.
Take your phone off vibrate. Want to hear how many times you're getting texted right now? So.
No.
So, yeah. Anyway, more. So I was reading another article. I thought it was interesting. What do you think is the most dangerous personality type? Scientists have revealed that most dangerous personality type.
Woman.
No, that's not a personality.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? This article is gonna be too complicated. We're gonna go to another.
This article's gonna be too complicated.
I want to know the most dangerous personality type.
I love that he didn't find out it was too complicated until he went to eat it, to read it.
Well,
to read
is that a fat joke, Mike?
I think
what the fuck
so.
was that?
I think so. It's a callback.
Yeah, it's a clawback. So, all right. So it's called the dark empathy. So a new dangerous character type trait dubbed dark empathy has been identified by scientists. But do you possess it is the question. Recent researchers found that individuals who boast dark personality traits such as narcissism can still retain high levels of cognitive and effective empathy, I should say. The study recently published in Personality Individual Differences identifies these types of people as dark empaths. So that's empath, like not empathy, EPATHS. Empathy can be broken up in the three categories. Cognitive, which describes the intellectual understanding of someone else's feelings without sensing them. Affective, or feeling someone else's emotions as your own. Or compassionate, a combination of cognitive and emotional empathy. Individuals are considered dark empaths when they possess cognitive and/or, then this is with the A, effective empathy, as well as characteristics from the dark triad, a collective term for 3 dark personality traits. Wow, that shit's crazy. Psychopathy and narcissism and machiavellism. That word is tough, but
These are the biggest words I've ever heard you use. I'm actually kind of want to give you a gold star.
I don't think I pronounced the last one right, but
It's mischief.
no, it's not. It's not.
Mischievism?
No. It's if you saw the word, I know it's not that. But and while the new
you read the word, it's exactly that.
no, I'm telling you, it's not. I mean, we can do that like YouTube thing. How do you say this word? And put it in YouTube.
First of all, narcissists are awful people.
They are.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just making that very clear.
Well, sure.
I don't give a shit what an article says. Like a person that's just all about themselves. Listen, my dad had a rule, and rest in peace to my father. My dad had a rule. Rule number 1, people are selfish. Rule number 2, do not forget rule number 1. And he said that to me every single day.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of truth in that. So, and so
Ton of truth in that.
Yeah. While this new data, which the researchers gathered from a group of 1,000 individuals, certainly reinforces the assertion, it also indicates a strong presence for the dark empath group. As expected, they found traditional dark triad group with low scores in empathy, meaning they don't give a fuck, about 13% of the sample. We also found a group with lower to average levels across all traits, about 34% were typicals. So that's typical, they say. And a group with low dark traits and high levels of empathy, about 33% were empaths, the study's authors said. So, there was a fourth group, though. The dark empaths was clearly evident. They had higher scorings on both dark traits and empathy, and about 20% of our sample size. So that's of the 1,000 I previously mentioned. Interestingly, this latter group scored higher on both cognitive and effective empathy than the dark triad and the typical group. So, I mean, man, it's they're saying a dark empath may be actually more dangerous than a more cold and unfeeling dark triad because the so-called dark empath can draw you in closer.
Yeah, 100%.
And do a more harm as a result.
Yeah, so essentially what the article is saying, if anyone was having trouble keeping up, what the article is saying is that if someone can fake empathy or show empathy or draw in empathy, that they can get you closer, and they're more dangerous because the dark person that shows no empathy, you already know they're a fucking sociopathic person, so you don't go around them.
Yeah, I think because, I think a lot of people, when they think of narcissistic or toxic people, they think of people that are outwardly toxic and narcissistic. Like, you can see it. They're boisterous, they're loud. And you're like, oh, yeah, that guy's definitely a narcissist. But there's the ones that you don't know because they're quiet about it. You don't have to be loud to be a narcissist. It's not a qualifier.
I don't think loud and narcissist are in the same sentence, to be honest with you. Let me just explain to you what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm loud. I'm obnoxious. I'm all these qualities, but I'm the least selfish person you will ever meet in your entire life. I'd rather die than be selfish.
Yeah, but all right, so I agree. So I agree with you there, but here's the thing. I'll put it to you this way. I think the way people view people is kind of skewed, right? Like, for example, people would meet me that don't know me. I'm not a big smiler, right? I've had people come to me like, why don't you smile more? Life's not that bad. I'm like, why don't you go fuck yourself? Like, but people do that to me because I have a stoic face. So they look at me and they get this perception of who I am. And I think on that part, like, Gene, you're a louder guy, and you said you're obnoxious. People might have this perception of who you are, but they might not know that other side of you that you talked about, right? So, being that you're, what was the last part you said? You're a nice guy. You're generous.
No, I'm saying that I'd rather be dead than be selfish.
Right, and so you're not a selfish person. But
I care about others more than I care about myself.
So I think people get fooled by these type of people that draw you in because I don't think like they're outwardly like that. Like, and you're like, I didn't see it coming because they're looking on the surface of how the person is.
That's fair.
Not what they show, not necessarily what they do. You know what I mean? And that's just I feel like we see that with our sports stars sometimes, right? Like sometimes people are like, this guy's a great guy. He might put his shit out on the street, and he might not be a great guy. You shouldn't know by the doors. And then if you see a guy that's not really a great guy, you see him like, this is a great example is T.O. Never really had a problem off the field. Never had any allegations. Usually a pretty generally good guy off the field.
He's a narcissist.
Definitely, 100%. Not saying he's not. But I think he would be the first one they were talking about, where he's not going to draw you in because
he's allowed.
That's my thing. You know what I mean? So one could be. I don't know. Like people used to always talk about Marvin Harrison, like how he would get, but people would never really talk about it.
Yeah, but he also was a murderer.
Right, and that too.
Like, I see. Like anybody that wants to judge people based. See, I'm lucky. I've been in sales. I've been trained in this for like 18, 19 years to read personalities.
Yeah, me too.
To read body language. Like I'll tell you right now, my radar for scumbags is like through the roof.
Yeah, and doing sales, especially when you have to do sales that are face to face when you deal with people.
Yeah,
you really do get a way to read people. I've gone through the same. I have a lot of sales experience too, and a good part of my sales experience where I have to deal with individuals face to face rather than over email or over phone or text. In front of them, you can really start to read people like a book. You're like, okay, yeah, this guy's an asshole. So there's definitely people that I know we mutually know that we're like, yeah, and some people are better at reading that than others. So that's why they're like, why don't you like this guy? I'm like, I just fucking know. And then it plays out, you know what I mean? Because you can't tell people sometimes because they want to resist you, but just let it play out. But anyway, thought that was interesting because they do suck you in. Thank you for helping me explain that. That's why I kind of moved away from that article, because it is kind of wordy, but that's the...
Bro, we're a team, brother.
Yeah, that's the point it was
comes
giving
up
off.
in like 33 minutes. Talk Eagles for an hour in 33 minutes.
Yeah, so we teased a review, but we're gonna wait till next week of Batman because we don't want Mike to get his panties wet and get it spoiled because he's waiting to do it. Mike, are you gonna see that this weekend? You have a deadline.
No, I'm not gonna see it this weekend. But I'm trying to see it as soon as I can.
I will tell you that The Batman is a phenomenal movie.
So I've heard mixed reviews.
Let me just. I'm not gonna give you a review. All I will tell you is this: Robert Pattinson is a phenomenal Batman.
Okay,
he's an awful Bruce Wayne.
He's an awful Bruce Wayne. So here's the thing. And Alex, the movie guy, will be on reviewing that full next week. I feel like I'm going to see it.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
You have to see it.
I feel like Batman and Spider-Man are those two movie franchises where they just keep making the same fucking... It's not the same movie, but it's almost the same premise over and over and over again. Like the last Spider-Man I liked. I liked it. I don't know if I liked the one before that, but I did like the last Spider-Man a lot. And it's... I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel recycled though?
So I love the Batman story. Batman's been one of my favorite superheroes, or I can't even call him a superhero. He has no superpowers, but like my favorite comic book heroes. I've loved them throughout the years, and even though the stories gets recycled with like the same villains just recycled over and over, I feel like they constantly find different takes. Like for instance, let me just give you an example of ones that you haven't seen yet, or you have already seen. The Joker. Jack Nicholson's Joker and Heath Ledger's Joker were two totally different characters.
Yeah.
So let me just be clear when I say this. The Riddler, the Penguin are totally different characters than what you're used to. Like you won't have a the right way to put it, you won't have a premise of what they were supposed to be. They won't look like what you think they should look like. They're just not.
I agree with you on one hand, but also on another hand, it because it happened in a relatively short term. And I'm talking about all the different Batmans that have gone through and all the different characters, different people that have played them. It gives you too much, and the Joker and everything. It gives you too much to compare to the other ones. So when you're sitting there watching it, comparing it to Heath Ledger or what's the latest one with the grill in his mouth?
Bane.
No. The Joker with the grill with Harley Quinn.
Jared Leto.
Like that one.
But Jared Leto was terrible.
But that's what I'm saying. But you already have it to compare to these other ones. So what I loved about Marvel, and I think that they did it and kind of ruins it for these reimaginings that come out relatively close to each other, is that they were able to lock them in for the 10 years of exploring this and intertwining and everything, which was such a weird and different and cool experience that when you see the Batman ones where, it was this Batman, it was that Batman, it was, what the hell was the last guy's name? Jesus Christ.
Christian Bale?
No.
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. When you get the Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, all these other ones, I think it muddies the water of your idea of what that Batman on the screen is. I agree with you to a degree, though. I do like that you get to see different takes and the benefit of this Batman over this Batman and how they twisted this and how it was better, but it's a double-edged sword where you can kind of start picking apart why this one that you're watching right now isn't as good as the other one. I mean, you got cleft palate Joker who was amazing too, but it's just too many.
No, listen, I'm gonna.
And
make
by the
some-
way, his cleft palate took me out of everything.
I'm gonna make something very clear. Okay,
Yeah.
Heath Ledger will be the best Joker ever played. Period.
Mm-hmm.
That's just there's nothing going around that. He played that role better than you can ever play it. This is totally different, man. I hope that you go watch the movie. If I was rating it out of 10, and I'm a very tough rater, like very tough rater, I would rate it an 8.7 out of 10, which to me is absurdly high. Like I think I have like 7 movies in my lifetime that I've rated over an 8.5.
Yeah.
All right, Alex.
All right.
Alex messaged me said, "Slow your roll on the movie rating." He said, "Stop trying to steal his thunder."
Anyway, we'll get into that on another show.
He does have a superpower though. Bruce Wayne has fuck you money. I think that's
a superpower.
I think it's a superpower. He's fucking buying rocket propelled nuclear fucking cars and shit
So
like that.
Elon Musk has a superpower?
I mean, sure. I mean, kind of. I mean, he sent satellites to people, even though they could get traced. I mean, but he fixed that, by the way. I think, but I mean, it's not a superhuman power. I know what you're getting at. It's not something like a mutant power or something like that's magical. Mike, why are you swirling your finger? Did you fart in there? Anyway,
Aren't you supposed to be a broadcaster?
Yeah, I am. But
trained professional.
we're not gonna worry about the next guy because we're the next fucking show. Anyway, guys. Thanks for listening in. Thanks for tuning in. Me and Gene are going to be back on an air in a half an hour. If you want to go birds deep and talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, we'll throw some external Eagles football opinions in there. 7:30 sharp, same channel. Page will be airing on is Birds Deep. You can look it up on the Facebook, YouTube /Play Toxic. You know where to get the past episodes. Just Google Taking a Deep. And this is the Godfrey. Not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.